So you said your dad was like a rocker?
Yeah, my family really just in general is comes from a long line of musicians. Really,
Really?
they all played in church or yeah, pretty much church. I think is where they all started out. Yeah, I actually was just talking to my dad the other day about like what got him into.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like what like what got him into rock and roll, and he was just telling me that one of his cousins from Illinois came down from. I'd say it's probably in like the 60s or 70s,
Yeah.
and was showing him, rock and roll. Like he basically brought rock and roll from Illinois down to Arkansas and showed my dad.
No way.
Yeah, and like up to that point, like my dad said, he'd heard stuff like that before, but I think he said it was Led Zeppelin. I'm pretty sure it was like...
Got him hooked?
Yeah. It was like, never heard of him before. It was...
Oh, are you for real?
Yeah, it was just like at that time period,
Wow,
he's like...
wow.
And then that was one of the bands that was just like, boom, rock and roll, baby.
I wonder what that experience would be like because, here we are, we're on the other side of like Led Zeppelin and everything, and for it to be a person to go, hey man, you need to check out this band.
Never heard it before.
And how influential and impacting that would be.
I had this
That's
discussion
nuts.
just the other day because I've been on like a Led Zeppelin kick here lately, and I was like, can you imagine just never hearing Led Zeppelin before, and you turn on the radio and you're driving down the road in your old Chevy, wind blowing through your hair, and all of a sudden, yeah, man, I like the way you move, dude. You know what I mean? It was just like it gave me chills whenever I was thinking about it.
Hey, you do that pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love the imagery. That's great.
Yeah, it's an amazing. It's got to be an amazing feeling, but it happens to me occasionally. Somebody will show me a new song that I've never heard that sound or that thing before,
Right.
and it'll just blow my mind. I love that. And it still happens today. It's just like you go back then, can't imagine.
Can't imagine, and I mean it's like there was nothing really to compare it to, because like what was happening before Led Zeppelin? What was Led Zeppelin, the first record? Was it 69 or was it? I'm gonna be probably crucified for not knowing.
Yeah, I'm terrible with like dates and names of songs. It's like I'm the worst about it.
I mean, I try to be good at it. I try to be like, hey, but still, Danny Campbell, he's an old head like me, and he loves himself some Led Zeppelin, but I'm punching in home. I'm looking for Led Zeppelin. I'm punching in like Danny Campbell into Spotify, talking about him. So, okay, so it looks like their first record was like what was it? Albums. Somebody's probably ready to give any answer. 69.
69.
Yeah, it has like the self-titled thing.
Yeah, that's what that one song.
So
it
what
was
were they
the
doing?
summer of '69 was written about. That Led Zeppelin song coming out and hitting the radio. It was the summer of '69.
Yo, that's a good one too.
Yeah.
Well, what were they doing before like Led Zeppelin?
Was
it the Beatles?
I actually kind of got into a little niche here a while back where I was like, where is the origins of rock and roll? Because I know
That's fun.
rooted in blues.
Sure.
And that was one of the things. You go back far enough, but like it's kind of funny how things happen. It's just like people just start doing things to try and be different or just do what they enjoy, and then it creates a thing. Like the electric guitar was like a mistake, like a amp fell off a truck. And
what, really?
Yeah, like the first time somebody played with like a distorted guitar, it was like an amp had fell off the truck and messed it up, and then they played with it anyways, and everybody's like, that was cool.
Oh,
let's make it happen.
No, are you serious?
Yeah, and then that's where like eventually like people started trying to like replicate it and create that sound. Eventually done it, like made distortion options on amps. Like I know there's actually one of the people who pioneered like using distortion
Right.
in music was Sister Rosetta Thorpe, and she's from Arkansas. Yeah, in a little town. I can't remember the name of the town that she's from, but she was like known during that time period for playing with a distorted guitar. And I don't know, it's weird. I can't even remember how I come across it. I actually seen a guy doing like it was like a YouTube where he'd go around to like old abandoned towns.
Yeah.
And he was at that town in Arkansas that this lady was born in.
Yeah.
And he included that as like a interesting fact. And I was like, I live in Arkansas, never heard of the town, never heard of this lady. And then I Google her, and she's famous. Like if you look her up, she's legitimately famous. Just never heard of her.
What's her name?
Sister Rosetta Thorpe.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I couldn't picture my world without distortion.
Yeah. And it's just this.
Is that who I should thank?
Yeah.
That's
basically.
awesome.
Yeah. Again, yeah. Like we take all the Metallica and Led Zeppelin and everything, all this heavy metal for granted, but it's like some lady from
awesome.
Arkansas.
That's fantastic.
Ripping blues.
So hey, I guess we'll do the intro. We just got talking. I just started recording because I thought it was fun. All right, listen. Hey, this is the Hate 7-0 podcast. In case you didn't know already, and this is episode. I believe this is episode 33 or 34. I'm always at least one off. So, listen. Thank you for listening. We, as you know, we had a very special guest on the show today. Hey, speaking of shows, there's lots of shows going on. Something Art Cafe is opened up, and they're hosting lots of shows going on. And there's also some shows at the Rec Room. I don't have dates or anything coming up, but check out the Something Art Cafe, or check out our buddy Chase Coleman is putting on shows that are coming up. And check out our guy Evan as well. So anyway, with that out of the way, support your local bands. There's a lot of great things going on. Speaking of which, I'm sitting here with a very fun and very cool and awesome person, Billy Storms of Grandma's Chandelier.
What's up?
What's up? So, that journey. I've gone on those journeys as far as searching for like where all the stuff came from. But your information is just like, that just boggles my mind.
Yeah.
That just boggles my mind. That's crazy.
One of those nerdy people that I just like to know things. I like to understand things.
Now, do you play only bass, or do you play? Are you pretty well versed in all instruments?
Yeah, pretty much. Anything I've got my hands on to play, I've been able to play. Piano. I started out playing like electric and acoustic guitar, and
okay.
Yeah, that was really the first instruments I had readily available. And then I took piano lessons in school.
Really?
Yeah, I really like piano. Again, it's like one of those instruments, kind of hard to get your hands on a good piano, and just never really invested in it. So probably could be better, but I've had a drum set most of my life. Played drums, bass, guitar. I just started bass for Grandma's Chandelier.
Oh, what?
Yeah, we didn't have a bass player, so I taught myself how to play bass.
Yeah, well, you surprised me, man. It sounded good though, man.
Yeah, I literally have no idea what I'm doing. It's just swinging for the fences most of the time.
It looks like you totally know what you're doing up there.
Could fool anybody.
That sounds good. I think the first time I saw you was when we were at the Reynolds Park building. I think it was the first time I met you and saw that concoction of, and it was good because you were like, I think I mentioned to somebody as like, I don't think I knew your name at the time, but I was like, that guy's just grooving over there, man. He's just like in his own, just like on his own stance and just like those long fingers is like it's going up and down the neck and everything else. And do you play with a pick or do you do like you do no finger, dude?
Pick.
You just pick.
Yeah,
I'm the same. So like that's what we do at our church because I'm like we needed a bass player. My kid has like we got my kid a 3/4 size bass or whatever, and from a buddy at work and I don't know, I'm just more comfortable with the pick thing. And bass is something I don't know, man. I don't think I've yet scratched the surface. I just play enough just to stay in the same key.
Yeah.
I like just picking around on it. My wife always jokes around how bass isn't an instrument, and I go, it's the perfect instrument. You know, she's just kidding, but I was like, it's like drums and a guitar mixed together. It's perfect.
Yeah, yeah, it's that mix between string and percussion.
It's great, man. Like Mr. Les Claypool and Mr. Victor Wooten have like.
Yeah, it's an interesting instrument because I didn't realize how tedious it is to get like your tone and the sound, and like there's so much more to getting bass down right than it is for me particularly. It was compared to electric guitar. It's easy to like just crank on a guitar and kind of dial in a tone and
Right.
Figure out a good rhythm or
Right.
I don't know. With bass, it was just way different. It's like hard to get the compression and all these little things set in.
Now, do you have a bunch of pedals and things to kind of help you dial in all that, or what's the deal?
It's fun. No, actually, I don't. I just got I got one distortion pedal. I've got a tuner pedal, and then a pedal to cut out because there's a little bit of hum in my guitar.
Oh, gotcha, yeah.
Yeah, like a noise canceller or whatever. Noise gate. But yeah, I really don't have a bunch of pedals. When I first started playing, I thought I was going to be one of those guys that had like a gigantic pedal board.
Well, that's Jacob. Jacob has like that, and he's like he's pretty knowledgeable as far as like stuff like when the guys start talking about compression and mids and noise gates and all the stuff. I'm just like smile and nod. I'm learning though. And they know all the stuff, and I'm like, I'm glad you guys do because I have no idea. 'Cause apparently they're telling me I need a noise gate and I need to push my mids. So whatever I go, just tell me what I need to buy.
Yeah. It's like that's how it is a lot of times with people. They're just like, what do I need to do? Just tell me what I need to do.
So. Okay, obviously, so you're with Grandma Chandelier. You guys just played a show.
Yeah.
It's been a while since you guys played a show, right?
Yeah. We I can't even remember the last one we played last year. I think
It'd been a hot minute.
Yeah, I want to say the last show we played was with Saturdays at your place at Growlers.
Oh my gosh. So that's been a while.
Yeah.
That's back in October.
Yeah. I think that was the last show we played.
So, and here you are.
And then we started recording the EP, trying to get all our.
How's that going?
It's going well. It's been a process, and we've got one song back. Just working towards the rest of it. Really, I'm sure like
I do.
The going through the recording process is.
It's how do I describe it? So I love it and I hate it all at the same time.
Yeah, it's fun, but it's difficult. Because getting things right the way you feel like they need to be, or
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but I think you guys like when you guys play live. One thing I noticed too is like, I get jealous of a lot of bands. Not jealous like that, but I'm just saying like I really esteem bands who. I think you guys are like when you guys play, you guys are together. Like I'll be playing like I'm playing shows, and sometimes I get lost in my world. I go, oh man, I'm like totally at the wrong part, or I'll start playing something that's not even maybe it's part of another song or whatever,
Yeah, get lost in the mix a little bit.
So and it's so, but it kind of gets. People may not notice because there's just a lot of noise going on, but I mean, props to you guys. You sound like you guys man, it's just like, man, this sounds. Even this first time I saw you guys, it sounded like super clean. Everything is precise and everything else. I was like, it's pretty awesome because there's really no room. Like I think drummers have it tough. I think they have it the hardest because when like they hit like the offbeat or whatever. But if I hit a wrong note on something on a run or whatever, it might be a little bit forgivable. But man, it's tough. I remember we were at the most embarrassing moment ever was being at the Metal Fest, and I forgot how the solo went to Thieves, and I'm just standing on stage with this. I was like, this is the worst moment ever. But yeah, I just want to kind of give you guys props. You guys are. So is recording, since you guys are that tight and everything, is recording still a headache? I mean, I feel like you guys are just pretty on the money all the time. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like we do have a pretty tight set, and I really do attribute to the fact that like me, Brody, and Jake, we've been playing together for a few years now.
Yeah.
And it's like we're really comfortable with each other. And then Cameron, when he came into the mix, it just felt so natural. Mm-hmm. It's just, I don't know how to explain it. It's like we fit in with each other so well. Mm-hmm. It's just, it works. I mean, everybody, you can hear it in the music.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I guess that's what I mean. Yeah, and I think, and I like it the fact too that I got thinking about this week how I'm thankful for the guys that I'm in a band with because I feel like we kind of get it. Like we kind of get what we're doing and everything. Everybody's kind of on the same page. We get what we're doing. So, and of course, B. Corey and Jordan have been playing for a long time. So we're kind of like, we kind of understand like this. We kind of know like what's happening as far as like as far as where we're going with the song structure. But even like when Lonnie came along and Jacob, it's like, so everybody kind of knew, it's like, this is kind of what we're going for, and this is what we kind of know, and everybody kind of meshed really well. And I think that matters too. I think I see that a lot with you guys too. Just like you said, I thought it was a perfect fit too when kind of Cameron kind of came in, kind of coalesced with everything else. Because I first saw you guys, it was without Cameron and everything else, and this still sounded good. But I was like, so I was really excited. I mean, because Brody and Jake started talking about they're going to be writing new material and everything else. Is this going to be different from what you guys did before? I didn't get a chance. I didn't get I was in Little Rock when you guys played this past time.
Honestly, the direction we're going with like the new material, because the material we're recording now is kind of the stuff we've had for a while, and Cameron just kind of came in and like put his piece on it.
Right.
But the stuff that we, like the first song we made with Cameron, and then like the direction we're going, it's, I mean, we say it a lot. It's like we just kind of have like our own sound, and it's like, I know we get influences from many different things, but as far as like the way we write music, and I'm sure a lot of people, everybody's different, but a lot of people do the same things. It's like when we get together and start writing, we always do by like the feel of it. It's like does it feel right? Does it sound right? Is it good on the ears, good on the senses?
Sure, yeah.
It's like that's the main thing really. And then we don't put too much thought into like keeping our sound in a certain
within a thing,
like in a genre or whatever you want to call it. Like we don't keep in a niche. That's why it's like all of our songs kind of sound very different,
right?
But it's all us at the same time. It's like still has the Grandma Chandelier sound. It's just
I think that's really important. I mean, I think just like you said, I think everybody kind of grabs influences from various places. It's kind of letting those things kind of come out naturally, and I think there is something in I like what you said about does it have that feel like kind of like the gravity or the flow of a song? I'm all about that. I was like, does it feel like it's going to go from? Is that the right direction it's going after this part? Is that the right transition or move or whatever? And I think that's really important too.
Yeah, I think we personally, I've noticed that one thing is like we don't just settle. Like if we come to a part and we really don't like where it's going, even if it's just one of us, even if it's just Brody, and he's just like, if the rest of us, all three of us are like, oh, we really like it, doesn't matter. It's like if one of us isn't feeling it, then that's enough for us to put it on the back burner, come back to it later, and keep working on it.
Yeah.
And it's I think that's really one
Not
of
to
the
rush
things.
it or anything, and just let it. I think it's important. I think
Yeah,
it's important.
be organic and come about naturally, like you said. It's like
Yeah.
that's for us is getting the feel of it to procure naturally.
That's important. That's important. I think it's sometimes just kind of. I even now I don't even know the recipe for like, as far as like, even like when we're writing stuff. Like I wrote some riffs for What's Left of Me, and I was hearing it. Me and Jordan were kind of hearing it different. Like we're, as far as like it's gonna be this kind of song or whatever, and we send it over to Corey, and Corey goes, "Hey, this is what I got." So he's got it on video. His wife's Amy is recording it, and he's like playing it out to the recording I sent him. Kind of how I felt like the song would go, but the way he applied the drums made it altogether something totally different. Oh, and it's something I didn't see it. I didn't see it. So, and that's why it feels like it's like sometimes I feel like the riffs that I write are just one dimensional, but it's kind of like two. It's like once like as the band gets together, it's like it's like someone is with the air pump, just pumping it up, and it becomes this 3-dimensional thing that you did not see at all, and it's so. It's why we keep making music, right? It's just so fulfilling to go. Oh, I'm so glad I have these guys, because they're just kind of everybody has a vision, and everybody brings something different to the table, So it's just wild to me.
Yeah, it feels good whenever you take something, like you make something that you enjoy, that you like, and then you show it to somebody else, and they're like, I like that too, and then they add a little something to it to make it a little bit different, and then next thing you know, it's something that y'all made. And then that's where it becomes almost this like spiritual thing. It's like
absolutely.
It's moving beyond, like you had an idea that you shared with another person, and then they added their idea to it to make its an own idea. It's incredible.
It's something coming out of nothing, which is something just like this song here. Oh, that's the kid. Hey, what's up, kid? Hey, sorry, I was just looking for the password on your laptop, but I think I'm good. I'm doing the podcast right now, but that's what I called you. Were you sleeping?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were doing a podcast.
Oh, no. I answered the phone. I knew of it. No, it's totally fine. I just want to let you know that I figured it out. But so, okay.
I'm sorry. I love you.
I love you too. All right. Bye. It becomes this like just something out of nothing. Because isn't it weird to you? I don't know. Maybe I just think about these things myself. Before we started, let's say, I don't know, 2 years ago. These songs were not audibly around, sonically around, and now they're around. And now like, whoa, that's here's this thing. It was a thought and it was an idea, and now it's just like for the world to listen to, right?
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, it is a really amazing feeling, and it's to see people, to make something that you love, and then see other people love it. Mm-hmm. It's incomparable.
It's totally vibing too.
Yeah.
There's, and I was so happy to. I mean, I mentioned this to Brody and Jake before, just like because I know, those dudes, and I know they've been wanting to do something for such a long time, and because they're just talented dudes as far as musicians, and I didn't know they could sing. So here they are singing or whatever, and the guitar skills is
incredible.
Make me super jealous, and like I'm just stuck with what I have, dude. This is all I can do, and so I'm just like this hitting intricate notes and singing at the same time, and but to see that happen, for your band in particular was very, really rewarding because it's like sometimes it's just an uphill battle to even get a band going.
Mm-hmm.
Get the right guys or anybody who's even motivated to do it or wants to do it, who's going to show up.
Yeah, the recipe
The
is
recipe.
insane. Yeah, it's insane.
hard
Yeah,
to find the right people because we had such a hard time. I think our history of our band was like such a hard time because therefore it was just me, Jordan, and Corey. Can't find a bass player. You can't. I mean, our vocalists are kind of in and out for various reasons, and bass players are just kind of hard to trap in to bring in or
Yeah.
whatever. But when you get the right, I don't know. I guess it's about timing. I don't know.
Yeah, and it really is. It's just about the right place, right time, and
Yeah.
you know, if it's meant to be. You know, like a bunch of stuff happened in my life, and I was like, I want to play music. I kept telling Brody and Jake forever. I was like, one day we're gonna play music together, and then finally I went and bought a drum set. And I was like, you're playing drums. And then Brody went and got a bass. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to play bass. It's like, it just happened. And
that's how you do it, I think. It's just like, listen, this thing is no longer going to stay in my head. Where's my wallet?
yeah. That's it. That's exactly
we're
what
just going to
happened.
start playing. We're just going to start doing it. And I think it just takes that first person. There's somebody just to step out there and go, we're doing it. Okay, I'm going to get this stuff. You know, for better or worse, this is what's going to happen. Because I remember I was in high school like a million years ago, and and my friends and I, we're skateboard friends. We're like, all right, so we loved two things. We loved skateboarding. We loved going to hardcore shows, and I mean that's it. And so we're like, we're going to do a band, and Gary, we're gonna get drums. I mean, we piecemealed this drum set because I just said I'll play drums. I don't play drums ever, but I just knew I liked to beat on stuff and tables and counters and whatever. And so we got a hi hat from one dude. I mean, it was a nice Zildjian hi hat. I don't know, it was beautiful, like for $40, and like we had a blue floor tom. And they like the kick drum and the two toms. The other ones were like a gross, like a black and white swirl that somebody tried. Frankenstein set. So because at first we didn't have the hi hat, but I just had a ride cymbal. So our first like demo that we recorded, I wish I had it, was like just a ride cymbal, no hi hat. You know. So this thing we pieced together, we wrote like some songs. We were called. We went through some. It was going to be called Focal Point. Then it changed to Conspired Against. We wrote like a two. I don't know how many, 4 songs maybe on a 4-track demo, and the vocalist girlfriend's living room, and our hit song was called Brother Against Brother. Anyway, so I'm like, it's just
That's
like,
fire.
but somebody said we're just going to do it,
Yeah.
and we don't care, and like, all right.
You just gotta pick a point, stand your ground, and start doing it. That's and I feel like that's the key to success. That's with anything. It's like, it's like, whenever we started this, I had no intentions of other than just playing music and having fun.
Yeah.
And then once it kind of got to the point where, like we realized right off the bat that we were pretty good. We had decent talent, and we definitely had material and stuff to work with. Once we started kind of like, let's go play shows, let's record this, and then next thing you know, it's kind of getting real, where it's making merch and playing shows in Memphis, and it's like we're looking to play in Malvern and Conway, and I don't know, it's a wild like evolution.
How was that show? How was that show at Growlers?
So we've had 2 shows at Growlers. The Saturday's show was amazing. Like I can't express how amazing that was, like playing with, because I fell in love with Saturdays at your place. I found them, I guess, back in like 2021 or maybe 2022, early 2022, but just like they had that sound, loved them. And then I remember telling Brody and Jake, like in 2022 probably, I was like, one day we're gonna play a show with these guys. And it's like, me and Brody was like hopping it up, and then like that day came, and we actually made it happen. And that's why I believe, it's like, if you have an idea or you have something set, as long as you put in work and effort, things might not always work out in your favor. You may fail a lot, but eventually you will get traction. Eventually you will find ground to stand on. And, it might not be, that, like, I'm not saying I'm going to live like that rock star lifestyle or anything, but like I'm playing shows, we're making money, we're doing what we love, and I think that's what life's about.
Yeah.
Like just kind of going out and making your way.
I think it's right. I think it's the more, just like you said, I think the more you do that and kind of put that pattern into motion, because sometimes it's just having the idea and having the vision, right? But it's like you don't always have the roadmap on how you're going to actually get there. You're not going to have any of that. But that's where the journey comes in, for better or for worse,
Right.
But I think as long as you have that vision, I think you'll end up where you want to go, and sometimes you even find that you end up in places that might even be better than what you had expected. And, yeah, absolutely. So, and I think as long as you're enjoying the journey along the way, I think you're going to be okay, and everything else. And I mean, and to think, it's just I think we're at the right place at the right time, in our lives, for better or for worse, wherever we're at, situations that might not be that great or whatever, some better or some worse, but as far as where you're at and where you're hanging your hat and coat and everything, this is where you're at,
Right.
So it's kind of bloom where you plant it type of thing,
Mm-hmm.
and just and who knows what kind of will kind of come forward from that. But anyway, I'm excited about the EP.
Yeah.
I'm excited about the music you guys are creating. Any set date or anything? You guys just taking your time on it?
No, we're just taking our time right now. We're getting ready to release the first single off of the EP, Super Glued. Ooh, be on the lookout. And
When's that? Do you have
we haven't set a date. We haven't set a
Okay,
date yet.
okay.
Right now, we are currently working on selecting the art for the single. I think we've pretty much narrowed it down to what we're gonna do. We'll probably have a date set soon. Be on the lookout.
Yeah.
We're gonna be doing a lot of things this year. Lots of shows. The music's coming along good. I will say we're gonna gear up for some music video shoots.
Yo.
Yeah, we're gonna do Super Glued and Restless, and it's gonna be like a 2-part where Super Glued the first part of Super Glued will be the first part of the video, and then Restless will be the second part of the video.
That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're got big things coming.
I'm so excited to see this video thing going on, and I'm just like, I don't know, man. I mean, this whole. Like,
Didn't y'all just?
We're doing one right now. Like
Yeah.
we're kind of getting the first. I think we're getting the final touches on it. But it's just such a weird thing. It's like, like I don't know how I feel about it. I guess I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's just so strange to think. I think this is just like what I said a second ago. Sometimes your journey takes you places that you didn't expect. And we were out yesterday finishing up some stuff for the video, and my kid got to be a part of it. So it's like, and that's kind of cool. And so that's kind of the part where it takes you places that are better than expected, because you get your kid kind of gets to kind of be a part of something and do something, and hopefully maybe, who knows, they might be something part of what
And I feel
it's
like
just an opportunity.
I feel like our children seeing us follow our dreams and do what we love, that is what they need to see. That's real experience. That's real education, because you can set somebody in a classroom and tell them what you think, but experience and going out and doing things, that's where real life and real education comes from. So to see them, because I know for me, like a big part of like following my dreams has been difficult, because I didn't have many people to look at for experience. I had my grandpa, he was a farmer, he made his way, but like most people in my family and generationally, like they followed other people's dreams, working to, and not that it's not an honorable thing to do, that's what was happening at that time.
Sure.
But it's, we have opportunity, and we're in this place where like we can change our lives, and like I said, chase the dreams once thought impossible. And
yeah.
I think that's really important for our children to see that, so that they know that it's possible. It's not just some whimsical thing that seems like mythological. Like,
oh, absolutely.
it's like, oh, what, you can grow up and do what you want to do with your life. It's like you don't have to go do what somebody else wants you to do with your life.
Yeah.
So,
'cause sometimes we see them as like a far-fetched thing. I mean, I know growing up, I'm like, shoot, man. I thought, it's like, I'll just say just from like, I remember being in high school going, like, I didn't have the foggiest idea how to even to get into a college. I thought I was like, that's just for other people, that type of thing. So I didn't have like, I didn't know the bridge from like high school to college, like whatsoever, because I thought it was just like difficult, and there was some way you go to college. I don't know how it is, or you go to college or whatever, but then kind of later on in life you find out, well, that's all there is to it. I mean, I didn't, saying, so like somebody kind of answers the mystery, but even as far as art goes and music goes, I'd hear some of these bands and like, and it still is to me, it's still just a magical thing to hear a band just play this song, and I'm like, but that when I was a teenager, I'm like, how this? I mean, it's just like this kind of I don't know. It's kind of like a spiritual or magical, almost something.
Yeah, supernatural.
Like, yeah, it's just like it's boom. It's like, man, how? I mean, what? But then when you start getting into actually playing like the guitar or whatever, writing songs, you kind of go, some of the not all, there's still mystery, but some of the mysteries answered, like, oh, that's how they, that is crazy cool, and
work.
So yeah, work, yeah, you got to actually have to kind of work to kind of get that sound, and so it kind of like, well, I can do that too, and you start believing, like, well, I can write music too, and it's just kind of like daring yourself, like, well, why can't I do that? I can do that.
Yeah.
They were
I always say, if you see one human do it, any human can do it.
That's right. That's absolutely right. Because someone decided to step out and do it. And I think it's just like, I think one thing that really helped me in life was just like skateboarding. It's like one of the things that really, it's like, it's one of those things where it's kind of like you against the environment, and you got to put some like, you got to kind of have to practice and put some skill, to your feet and everything else, and attempt to kind of like, you're kind of like, it's kind of working kind of against the grain. It kind of teaches you kind of like there's a if you work hard at this certain obstacle, long enough, you're going to be able to do the thing that you see in your head to do, and everything. When you fall down or you mess it up,
there's risk. Yeah,
there's risk, and you have to get back up, and you have to try again until it happens. And before you know it, it's taught you a great lesson that you can just, man, because. This one maybe it was like I don't know, you were trying to kickflip this gap or these stairs or whatever, and you tried it, what was once impossible, as after many attempts, you don't know until you really try it. Then you're like, oh, that's not gonna be too bad. So after half an hour, you're doing it. But yeah, absolutely. And you, sir, have an eye for photography.
Yes, yep, I do. I do like to take photos. I don't know. I've always liked it. It's funny. My mom was telling me that my grandpa Townsend, on my mom's side of the family, or her grandpa, so it'd be my great grandpa, owned a camera store.
What?
He was into photography.
Did you even know that?
I did not know that until my mom told me. I knew my grandpa was into it. He had cameras, and he always had like video recorders and stuff. But I didn't know that it kind of like ran in our family.
Yeah.
Until that, and but it's one of those things that just kind of made sense, because I've always been obsessed with cameras, mainly because I found them in my grandpa's house whenever I was a kid, and I like playing with them.
Gotcha.
But then as I got older, I just enjoy it. I enjoy that art. I enjoy capturing moments.
You do great. Like, I remember there's some pictures you posted. It was just, and I love candids. We're just kind of, and you sent me, I think you had sent some pictures or whatever. I think I was talking to Who was I talking to?
It was Chase and the dude from
Dude.
from Power Play. No,
Yeah, I was talking to Adam. Yeah.
Was
Well,
it?
I was talking to Adam. I was talking. It was just like I was outside, and I go, I love that. I love that because sometimes it's just so many capturing moments when, the other person's not aware. It's wonderful.
yeah,
And yeah, it seemed like in your photography too, like you also capture moments other people, you capture images that people do not see or would not see. This like far as like their perspective, far as like I remember you took some flower pics. I go, that's quite the perspective. I go that we don't really get to view life from, but it's actually happening. So I thought that was pretty cool.
oh, I like that. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. So that's just the beautiful thing about. I've worked with a friend and she's really good at. I'm just surrounded by photographers. I don't know what it is, but it's just that you kind of get their perspective, and that's why I like photography anyway too. Especially if that's more artistic because you really kind of because that view is happening. And sometimes we just kind of walk by and we miss a lot of like. Moments, because we're busy, we're doing life, and it's not a punch or anything to anybody because we can't be intentional all the time, we got to do things or whatever. But stopping and seeing is good.
Yeah.
It's good for you.
It's funny you bring that up because I can't tell you how many times I'll be like taking a picture, and especially in public places, and people will be like walking by, and I'll see them kind of slow down, and they'll start looking, trying to find what I'm looking at. Yeah, and it's like I can see it's like that, and that's what it's rooted in. It's curiosity. It's like I wonder. That's what that thing pops up in my head. I wonder what that looks like. I wonder if I can get the light to hit this angle, and if I did, what would that picture look like? Like what would this thing look like? It's like, does anybody else notice that thing up there on the ceiling? You know what I mean? It's just like that's just what the world I live in.
Do you feel like it's a? Do you feel like it's like you mentioned because you do take some like urban pics and stuff and notice things I've noticed lately. Do you feel like you're like, how do you put it? Like you're kind of like you're. Best way I know how to describe it is like sometimes I feel like I remember going to high school. I didn't exactly. I was like the skateboard hardcore kid that kind of walked around school and everybody else, and there was a few of us, but we kind of felt like we kind of stuck out.
Separate. Yeah.
Separate. So it's like while everybody's walking by, you're like this one person that's not doing everything everybody else is doing. You're kind of in this moment like everybody's doing life, but you're kind of standing there in the middle of this creek of life and just kind of like you're focusing on this this image or this or whatever. You're not doing what you're doing, not doing what everybody else is doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It kind of feels like to me, it's kind of like it kind of gives me a punk rock vibes because it's just like you're kind of standing out. I don't know how else to put it against the grain. I don't know. It's just something that everybody else is so busy with life, but you are here stopping and pausing.
I think what you're trying to say is like in this fast-paced world we live in where everybody's constantly moving and going, like me taking the time to kind of stop and like look around, it separates me from the crowd.
It's odd. I mean, not.
I'm taking no offense to it. I know exactly what you're trying to say.
Because it's like you're not fitting in. I guess that's what you're not fitting in.
And no, there's a lot of, like I went to Memphis just a couple weekends ago, and it's like that's what I found. It's like I do feel very isolated a lot of the times. Like it feels like everybody else is in this one world,
right?
And I'm outside of that world looking into the same thing everybody else is.
Right.
It's just I'm not a part of it. That's the way it does feel sometimes, and
that's okay.
Yeah, I mean it's like
and I think that's be quite honest. I mean I think that's the way life is supposed to be lived and everything. Not following suit with like everything else,
right? Just
because we talk about not following the common herd or as the herd or whatever.
Not going with the grain.
Not going with the grain whatsoever. And I think real life is experienced, and it's not really it's against the grain, maybe kind of viewed from another perspective, but really from my perspective, it's really kind of like it's living. You know, that's living. You know, taking time, taking these moments to, whether it's music or whether it's photography or whatever. I think that's what, you know.
Yeah.
I think, you know, it's your expression of you know, of what you see and everything. It's really cool. So you're experimenting with all these cameras that your grandfather had?
I don't have any of those anymore. My family might have some of them.
Like, did you do the whole dark room type stuff?
No,
or?
never had access to any of that.
Wow.
My grandpa probably did stuff like that.
Yeah.
To be honest, he probably did a lot of that. But by the time, I just remember whenever I was young, I remember seeing him using a bunch of cameras, but then the digital age kind of started happening, like the camcorders and then like the VHS tapes.
Yeah.
You know, and then I remember like that era kind of coming in.
Sure.
And the film stuff kind of getting put on the shelf. And that's whenever I started playing with those, you know, like ringing them up, clicking,
Sure.
and opening it up and seeing the insides. You know, and there was never we never had film or anything like that. But my grandpa probably did, but he didn't let me play with it, obviously. But I do remember, like, that's where it started. I don't know, something about, and watches, a bunch of stuff, like mechanical things.
Yeah.
I know, like, my family, the Storms, we're German descent.
Sure.
And I know, like, Germans are notorious for mechanical clocks, things like that.
Oh, yeah.
Cameras, like Leica cameras, are some of the best cameras in the world. They're a German company.
The German engineering.
Yeah,
What's up?
something about it. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's something about it. We like gears and stuff.
That's okay.
But I just always liked that, and I will say, film that's my next step. Like,
for real?
Yeah, like I want to get a film camera. I don't know if I'll ever do like the dark room, because there's so many companies that you can just like send your film off to.
Gotcha.
And then they specialize in, you know, rendering those.
I've heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a few different companies where, you know, like that's people like me that are super passionate about that part. Instead of taking photos, they were super passionate about
That.
the dark room, the editing, the film,
All that.
emulsion, all that stuff. Yeah.
I can imagine like in a dark room it'd be kind of pricey. It'd be kind of like you kind of have to dedicate one whole room to your.
Yeah.
And that's it, you know.
Yep. 100%.
We used to work in when I was in high school and everything. We had like I worked like my mother was like she was a printer since she was 8 years old, and my grandfather had a print shop in his basement, right? And are you okay over there, pal?
Tech.
You know who it is? Oh, dear Lord.
Somebody coming home.
It's the wife.
Oh, yep.
Dear Lord. You know who it is. Why
He's
do you
like,
bark? You know who it is.
He's like, look at this guy. Look at this guy over here in this chair.
You're okay. But no, my mom, she 8 years old. She was, my grandfather had a print shop in the basement and stuff. And so anyway, during high school, I didn't know what to do with my life. So I took like this 4-hour, the first part of my day in high school. We were kind of bussed out, I don't know, a few minutes out of town. And it's like a trade school basically. So there's a print shop type of thing. And part of it, they actually had a dark room. And I love the feel like having a dark room and like getting there. It's like get all the chemicals in your senses. It's red in there, and like you're just like you're putting it in like you're just kind of dipping it in all these liquids and kind of getting developed and just the whole thing. Are you okay over there?
I don't know.
Mercy, Coda. Anyway, but I just liked it, man. I was like, there's a cool. I don't know. It's a cool vibe.
Yeah, it does. It's got to feel good.
But I know that wasn't really good for me. I'm sure whatever chemicals, whatever developers was.
Oh yeah.
My nose or whatever. Anyway, what's up, doll? What's going on?
I'm getting the picture.
Get a coffee?
I did.
I'll take a little bit more.
Okay. How do you take it?
Black.
There's sausage, bacon, ham.
What?
Oh, look.
You get first.
Oh,
dibs.
breakfast?
Look at
Oh.
there.
Well, or you can wait till after.
The podcast is sponsored by Burger King.
Burger King. This podcast episode is sponsored by Burger King. Have it your way.
But there was like 20 in Hardee's, so.
Oh, good lord, yeah, man.
You taking it black, you said? Or?
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We're just talking about.
I take my black. Sorry.
We're talking about rock and roll and photography and Led Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin. I swear to God, Led Zeppelin. I love them. Led Zeppelin.
Is that like a?
All right, come on, cut it.
Is that like a? Do you have like a handful of bands you kind of just always like?
Yeah.
It's like default.
Yeah. So like my default go-to bands, and I will listen to literally just anything and everything from them. Is probably Pine Grove, Led Zeppelin, Hot Mulligan, Saturdays at Your Place, and then the fifth one.
Oh, you were going for 5, huh?
Yeah, I'd probably say Mac Miller. Just I know Mac Miller's not rock and roll, but
That's your
just that music.
default to go to, yeah.
Yeah, I can listen to anything and everything by that guy.
That's good.
And I might not even name 5. I'm terrible at counting.
That's okay. That's all right. Yeah, I need to do more of that. Just kind of go into. I'm always kind of like trying to. I'm always like, I don't know. I have
A dabbler, a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I think I have a fear of missing out, eosis type of thing. So I'm like, I like to go to listen to stuff that I might have missed over the years, because there's so much stuff. Like you mentioned the '90s and earlier. I don't think we were recording then, but just like from I feel like the '80s, like we said, the '80s was pretty eclectic and creative and everything else.
Very experimental.
Very experimental. And then it kind of bled into the '90s. And there were these bands that kind of like came up, especially like in like alternative music that I think some kind of get overlooked and missed and everything.
Third Eye Blind is one of those bands. I know they were really popular, and they, Semi Charmed Kind of Life is like the anthem of the '90s. Mm-hmm. Everybody loves that.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Semi Charmed Kind of Life. But their music, their catalog, insanely good. Like they've got they're one of those bands where their radio stuff was probably their least best stuff.
Really?
Yeah, like there's so many good songs they have. I know, like Motorcycle Drive-By is probably one of my favorite songs of all time, and that's
wow.
I know it was one of their singles, but it's not as popular as the other stuff. But it's just one of those things where I'm like you. You go back and there's these bands. They might have had one song that was amazing. But they have catalogs. I mean, catalogs of music that you're missing out on.
So Third Eye Blind. So I don't really know how many. To be honest, again, so that'd be like one of those bands. I'd have to go listen to like one of their albums because I just know them by the radio. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't know anything besides that.
Yep.
So again, I'm probably missing out on some.
And that's me. I know for a fact I'm missing out on a lot of stuff. And it's like we're just
gonna.
There's just too much to experience, and
but one of those bands that kind of like and me, it's kind of like finding those bands that really kind of shaped. They were essential. I don't know that certain sounds like. I think Third Eye Blind. I'd probably like to know a little bit more about where they come from and like
what inspired them.
What inspired them and everything else, and because I was listening to 90s band. Actually, a few 90s bands this week. There's a band called Catherine Wheel. Yeah, Catherine Wheel. They came out like in the early 90s, and they're kind of get missed, but they're kind of like it's kind of like it's not really exactly grunge. It's not exactly probably more like kind of leans maybe toward the shoegazy type stuff, but not like super like My Bloody Valentine, but more kind of like. Where it's I listened to the record, I think it's called Ferment, and it's like the melodies in that, it's like bands that probably could have been a lot bigger, but there's probably an underground few that like yo, this is our band.
Have you ever heard of Hum?
Yeah.
See,
Well,
I'd never heard of Hum until I got Spotify a few years ago. It's been 4 or 5 years ago or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But when I found, I can't even remember what song it was, but I was like, this is really good. I thought they were a modern band.
yeah.
And then that song was from the 90s.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Get out of here. It's like, again, American football. American football was making music in 99. Never heard of them. You know, it's like
and
these
how
underground.
and how good is it?
So good. It's so good. So what, like, there's just this, I feel like there is a treasure trove of music that's just waiting to be discovered. That's just there.
I agree. And I think there's some things, like you said, like even with Hum and like American football and like Catherine Wheel. I think there's some bands, I think. I was thinking about that one time, past week, how there's a band, I wish I could remember exactly, but it's like they put out this amazing album. And it's almost like I don't hear that. I don't hear what they did anywhere outside of it. Like it's like that should be teased out some more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That should be like somebody needs to get in there and like who's like influenced by this, like tease it out, because there's some really, really good stuff in it. And I think the bands you mentioned are like Hum for sure. I mean, bro, people, you know, I don't know. And I think there are probably some bands that are influenced by Hum, but yeah, I agree 100%. So it's like kind of finding those. It's like, man, why is anybody like?
Yeah, it's strange
pulling
to me.
on that. You know, it's crazy. Do you ever listen to Quicksand?
I don't guess so.
Oh man, Quicksand is, dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Quicksand's one of those bands too. Again, it's not like one of those. They're not going to be like, even in the '90s. These bands are not going to be like super. They might show up maybe during that time it was like 120 minutes, like the alternative show or whatever. Like that didn't come on until super late at night, because really we didn't. The accessibility to those bands wasn't like you said before, wasn't really there because of. And sometimes, sometimes I'm kind of like, I don't like the accessibility on one hand, but on the other side, I do.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when there's a lack of accessibility to some of these bands, it's made those bands much more special, I guess. But again, I like to find them.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but anyway.
I guess it's part of the game.
It's part of the game and everything else. So, I mean, third eye, I can ask you to dig into some. Do you find yourself digging from some of those like '90s influences, like when you play or when you guys are writing? Or
for me, I would say a huge part of my songwriting is definitely influenced by '90s stuff.
Yeah.
That's like every little guitar riff or like bass line I write. I always feel like that's probably where it's rooted in, is some kind
Something
of
like that.
catchy, boppy '90s sound. Because I just, whether I like it or not, it's part of me. Yeah, I love that poppy, boppy, just '90s sound that.
Everybody, and you're not alone.
That
You're not
radio
alone in that.
friendly, everybody likes to sing along to. It's like, I don't know, something about the '90s was like, it was like mainstream had become not mainstream. Or not mainstream had become mainstream. So like in the
Right.
90s, I feel like we had like this bloom of music, and then it bled into the 2000s where we had like the emo and the screamo becoming kind of mainstream. I feel like not the 90s is to thank for that, where it's like the 90s started kind of getting edgy, where it's like
sure,
we're
yeah.
gonna, like Third Eye Blind. I know I brought it up again, but like Semi Charmed Kind of Life was about doing meth, and it was a radio hit.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like we're starting to see like kind of this like gritty rock come to mainstream again, because we had it in like the 60s and 70s. Like we had rock stars, and
Yeah.
then the 80s, like I said, it's this experimental time. We had a lot of I don't know, I think branding really kind of started in the 80s. Like people started really realizing the power of branding. Like they did, like Led Zeppelin and the Beatles, like they had built brands, they just didn't realize the power of it until the 80s. And then corporations tried to monopolize on that
Oh yeah.
by making these things, and it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
the art, the sound, the everything about it.
Right.
And I don't think it worked very well for them. And then the 90s just come out swinging where it's like this,
It did.
it's like it's cool to not be cool,
That type of thing, yeah.
yeah, where it's
Yeah.
like, Kurt Cobain, the grunge scene in Seattle, the underground scene. You had like 9 Inch Nails, kind of.
Yeah, right.
Just you had all these different bands. That's like, and that's what was becoming mainstream. And
Right.
like you look at like how Nirvana was like. If you really look at Kurt Cobain, he kind of hated that. He like hated that corporate.
Yeah, he was pretty cynical about it.
Yeah, he was. And that's why you always see him kind of being a negative Nancy in interviews and stuff.
It's like, this is not,
what the rock and roll was really supposed to be about. And then
this is not, yeah, I kind of get that. You kind of got that too. It's kind of like, I think I kind of grew up. There was one point to where I go, I really don't want you guys liking my music. Because that's my music.
Yeah.
That type of thing. It's like, so, and I know people latched on to what they were doing. And they did really kind of, it's like you said, I think going out of the 80s, because when you think about even in the late 80s, everything was like, because even think about the 80s, it's like so bright and fluorescent and neon and everything else. And then I think it's like a switch in like in 91, it kind of got darker. Now it's like, it's not about really kind of all this needless accessories and all this. It's just, now it's just like straight up, just like dirty holy jeans and a flannel and messed up hair. Because I guess it's just who we are. They weren't trying to be fashionable. It just kind of came out organic and genuine. Because they're all those guys. I mean, I know Dave is like, Dave was a hardcore kid. They were those punk rock hardcore kids from Seattle. That's just making music. It's the only thing they knew. And so I think you're exactly right. I think it's just kind of stripped. Maybe it stripped away all the gloss and the shimmer and everything. And this is kind of what's maybe it's an anti type of anti-culture type of thing.
Yeah, and it's something that's embedded in us because I can feel it in me all the time, like constantly, like looking into reality and trying to make sure that I'm not becoming part of the mainstream.
Sure.
It feels weird. You know what I mean? It's
It's
like there's something instinctually in me that's like I don't want to be part of the crowd. I want to be outside. I want to be against the grain. That punk nature, if you want to call it,
Absolutely.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it's like
absolutely 100%. I mean, I feel that all the time. And I think you can feel that. You can kind of feel the if you ever go to the ocean, you kind of feel the push of the waves and things like that. That you feel these natural tendencies to kind of like we need, to kind of belong to this or belong to that. And I've never ever felt like that was ever a part of me, even from a young kid. I didn't ever wanted to be part of the crowd or what, just because
everybody else is doing.
Everybody else is doing it. I think maybe in some aspects I was, but not where it really mattered, especially like when it comes to like socially or culturally and everything else. I wanted to be like, even growing up, I mean, like I said, everybody's like, everybody live your life. But for me, what really meant a lot to me, I remember even growing up, like even in the 80s and everything, even like when racism was kind of going on. I remember a really distinct moment when I was a kid. We were at the, I think at the Mid-South Fair or whatever, and there was I was waiting in line to ride a ride and whatever, and there's like this really cool black kid kind of sitting by himself, and I was probably 8 years old, 10 years old, and nobody was like sitting with him, and I can remember I said, I'm gonna go sit with that dude and everything else. This kind of like, because I felt like it was something that like I didn't want to. I don't know why I did that. I just feel like I wanted to do something that was kind of. I was 8 or 10 years old. What did I know? But it's like, you know what? I go, I'm going to sit with that dude, and I don't even know what. I don't know. It's just something in me that said, I think even. I don't know. I didn't want to be part of like. I think sometimes when kids are kind of grow up, even in school, they kind of feel like they're not like they're kind of on the outside looking in. Maybe kind of like they're kind of the underdogs or whatever, or they're not the cool kids. Whatever. That's kind of like, and you kind of wear that kind of like a badge of honor. Like even like growing up as a teenager, And like, for me, just for me, like I said, personal choice, like, it was so popular in high school. In my high school, anyway, it was real popular just to kind of get wasted on the weekends and this, that, and the other. But I found a group of kids who were like saying they skated, and skating again was an anti-culture because nobody thought it was cool back then like they do now. Like you were just kind of, that's against the grain.
Degenerate, yeah.
Yeah, degenerate. So you walked around the school with your skateboard in your hand. You felt like there was a spotlight. Like you stuck out, like you did not fit in. Like this is like, you're kind of like, you're the weird guy. But I'm hanging out with these kids who kind of introduced me to straight edge. I'm like, yo, that's awesome. Like I can do that too, and of course I may not, since I'm not militant about that, but for me at that time in my life and everything, that's like, again, it was one of those things where I want to belong to something that wasn't like everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even nowadays, I feel like there's just such a push to belong to this or that, and I'm not going to do that. I think there's a freedom of being like individual, like who you are, and I can have my individual beliefs and stances, even if other people don't like it. And people are not going to, and that's the kind of the price you pay for that and everything. So it's like, that's, I'm saying, that's where I want to be. I don't want to sell myself out to whatever everybody else is kind of doing. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we're preaching and saying the same thing there.
Yeah, 100%. Because like I've never felt comfortable consigning myself to what other people are doing. Like one of the things that gets me is like when I'm standing in lines at like fairs and stuff. I'm just like, I feel so terrible. It's like my anxiety's through the roof. Right. I don't like being in that like
thing. That
herd mentality type thing. It's like where I'm just like another cog in the machine. I like playing with them. You know what I mean? I like being outside of it. I like making things.
I like that.
I like being a part of it in that way. Like being outside of it.
Yeah.
It's like,
and it's great. I think it's great too. I think making music that it's not necessarily may belong to, because it's always fun. I don't know if you ever get popped the question, like, if they find out you're in a band or whatever, they're like, oh, okay. So what, what's it sound like or whatever? It's tough to go. So now I just tell people, we were at the car dealership the other day, and I ran into a guy who does like music, and it's like, props to that dude. I wish I give him a shout out right now. If I only can remember half his band name. Anyway, so it's not going to do any good. But anyway, he goes, so what kind of music you guys play? He was asking, it's just loud, noisy screaming.
Yeah.
I said, nobody likes it. And that's, so it's like, I don't know how, if you say heavy metal, automatically, I think they're going to think this. If I say Slayer, they're going to think this. It's this loud, screamy mosh music. I don't know how else to call it. But even that, it's in a sense, it's kind of like, not everybody respects it, because you're like, that's the niche you're into there. That's what you're doing. But like, it's definitely not like what everybody else is doing. We're not like, the cover band that's playing. No disrespect to cover bands.
Yeah, mad respect.
I'm mad respect, because like, it takes a lot huge. I know a few dudes who do those, but it takes a multi-talented. So I might just get myself into a ditch I can't get out of. But anyway, it doesn't matter. But I'm saying, like, it's like, people are not kind of come out and listen to us for 3 hours. They're just not going to. Plus, we don't have that much material anyway. So
right.
But it's just kind of being, I don't know. It's just like we're not like the. I'm trying to find something. We're not like this, Anyway, I'm not gonna say anything more because I'll dig myself into a ditch.
Like I'm digging a hole.
Yeah, no, man, I can't do it.
I feel you. A lot of times when people ask me, I'm just like, we'd play like punk rock.
Hey, I love it. Hey, let's do that. Let's just do that. Let's play punk rock, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Okay. So, do you want to do this thing where we kind of like do this top 5 on the fly, where I ask you like, what's like? You probably did it earlier, but we can like go back and forth about 5 bands you haven't been listening to recently.
Yeah.
Like, or we can do 5 meaningful bands. We can do it. Well, I do it. I give the guests the honors of what you want to do. We can either do the 5 latest things you've been listening to, or we can go the other route of like.
We'll do the 5 latest things.
5 latest things.
Yeah. I've been on like a The number one band I've been listening to just recently is Nova Amor. It's Novoamor.
Okay.
And it's kind of like a softer indie rock, but it's catchy. I really like the sound. He uses a lot of like
I see it.
like ambient vocal effect type deal.
Holy cow!
It's nice.
Yeah, I was looking it up. Okay.
I don't know if you know Yvette Young from Covet.
No. Oh, no.
She's like an amazing guitarist. She plays in the band Covet, and then she does solo stuff under Yvette Young.
Okay. So
That's her boyfriend or husband or something.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's funny. I've been listening to her for years, and then like I come across this guy. I went to his Instagram, and first thing I seen was them together, and I was like, that lucky
Nova?
dude.
Novo Amor.
Nova Amor, Novo.
Got it.
Amor.
This the one right here. This guy.
That's it.
Awesome, dude.
That's it.
Any song good? Any song people should listen to?
Opaline is my favorite song by him. Halloween's really good. That was the song that got me into him, was Halloween.
Halloween. Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna jot that down.
And then
Well, I'm gonna go next.
what about you? What about you?
You keep. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was listening before he got here. I was trying to do some.
Last minute.
Clean up and everything else and stuff because we have dogs. Or I have one dog, but it feels like I have many dogs.
We
because
have dogs. One.
We have one dog, but he sheds. Well, actually, the cat probably gets credit too for shedding. But I feel like we got to sweep. Like, oh my gosh, dude, hair gets. Anyway, so I had some like. Do you listen to the album Leaf?
What is it?
The album Leaf.
It's
It's like super. Like they came up. I haven't listened to him in a long time. I listened to him because Sam from Tragic Stories and here, let me pop it on. I'm gonna turn it on real quick. Hold on a second, bro. I'm gonna turn it on. I'm gonna turn it on. Is it gonna pop on the speaker? We can find out. I'll just put it on the phone. So Sam from Tragic Stories and he also played in the Silence Tree and all the guys in the band always, I think everybody like Brian Folks and Jeff Coates, they always talked about how the album Leaf, and it's like they came with a new one. It's just super like this, just like real,
Aphex Twin. Like just
just
ambient, just like almost elevator music. Type stuff. Yeah, Aphex Twin does that stuff. It's really good.
I've listened to them. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, they've been around forever. If you ever go to the YouTube video for their top song, the comments under it are amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah, like the comment section under Aphex Twin's video. I can't remember the name of the song, but it's just like you go under there and it's like stories of people being like, I was going through the roughest part of my life, and
are you serious?
Yeah, and
really?
then like this, I found this song, and it's just basically like a gateway to them getting their life back on track.
No way.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty amazing little place there. The internet has got a lot of cool stuff, but that's one of the amazing places.
That's a spot where I can set my focus at. That's great, man. I just listened to him because I heard Wes from Limp Bizkit. That was like one of his favorite bands.
Yeah,
I was like,
nice.
No way.
Nice.
Okay, so he has like an eclectic
music taste.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He does. Yeah, that's mine. So I got yours. You said the Halloween is a song.
Yeah, Halloween is like
Okay.
my top song by them for sure.
Okay, what do you got next?
Noah Kahan. I know that he's like mainstream as can all get out.
I don't know who he is.
He's a folk artist.
Noah?
Noah Kahan or Khan. I think I always
I
say
see
it
it.
wrong, but
It's okay. Right on.
Stick Season is
Yeah.
like the one that got me into him. But all my love is
All my love.
yeah. As I promise me. That one's so good.
That's awesome. How'd you find him?
You know what? I don't know. It might have been through like it had to have been like a YouTube video or something. I think seen like an Instagram reel,
Yeah.
and it had just that song playing, and I was like, I like that sound, so I went and found him and started listening to the shit out of him. Oh, sorry.
Bro, oh, you're fine. That's. Oh man, I like this. My oldest daughter would love this, man.
Yeah.
She hasn't sent me anything new in a long time. I need to send her this. I think I'm gonna send her this right now. That's super good, dude.
Retrograde, we shake the frame of your car.
Are you good at playing acoustic guitar?
Yeah.
Man, I wish I was.
Yeah. You don't play no acoustic?
I wish I was. 'Cause I'm not good at it.
Oh, really?
No, I want to be. I want to be. And I think the acoustic guitars we've had in the past, they've had in our hands. Man, my fingers just get butchered.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it does hurt.
Because I cannot play chords. Like I try to like, the standard chords or whatever. I don't know what you call them.
Shapes.
The music book chords. I'm terrible at them. Like this is a G, this is an F. And all this. No.
Yeah, I was watching this guy breaking it down, and he was like, instead of trying to remember it in notes or numbers,
Yeah.
instead of letters or numbers, remember it in shapes. So like, yeah, like the shape you keep your hand in for. It's
like I do that. Like some of our songs, like, and I don't even know. Like I do that, but it's not like those. It's like because there's shapes that just work, and I love their sound. That I use. I don't know what they are, but like I use them, and they're super. Because I love what is it? Maybe it's harmony and dissonance collide. I love it. I love that sound. It's just an uneasy beauty type of thing. Oh man, just does something to me. It's like, bro, I'll just play those chords all day long, dude.
Yeah. There's just certain notes that whenever I know, like me particular, like there's certain notes that I just really can't get away from, like in certain scales or chords. It's just like the sound of it. It's like I get hung up on it. I'm like, I really like that. I don't know, for whatever reason.
Oh man, do you ever go up to the guys with like, yo, I got this thing, dude? Mm-hmm. Do you because I know you probably play acoustic in between like playing bass. I'm sure, yeah. Yeah. So, man, do you walk up to the dudes and go, yo, check this out, check this out? Do you ever do that?
All the time. All the time. Yeah, like the song we're about to start working on right now is the next song we're working on to make.
Yeah, yeah.
It's literally one like that. Started out like that. I like wrote a riff on the acoustic guitar and was like, guys, check this out.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, okay, that's good. Yeah, so what kind of acoustic guitar do you have?
It's a Fender. It's a Fender guitar that Jake gave to me. I didn't have an acoustic guitar when we first started hanging out 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And he was like, here, you can just have this one. Because I think his brother... So Brody had bought him an acoustic guitar for his birthday and or maybe Christmas or something. I can't remember. He got him as a gift, and when he got that new guitar, Jake was like, "Here, just have this one." I'm just like,
you sounded just like him. That's funny. That's funny.
But it's crazy to me though. Like these guys, like I swear, Brody and Jake like changed my life. I would be lost without them guys. Because like he was just like, here, have this guitar, and just like it was nothing. You know what I mean?
They're really giving dudes.
They are
they're really giving dudes.
Yeah, I mean,
I like them, and they're so passionate and everything else. I love it.
Seriously,
you can be around a better group of guys. It's awesome.
Can't give enough love to Jake and Brody Betts. Much love, guys.
Yeah, they're good dudes.
I love you too, Cameron.
we kind of love you. We kind of love you, Cameron. Kind of. That's fantastic. Well, I mean, I don't know, and you can sing too.
Yeah, I guess
you
a little
dabble?
bit. Yeah, I try.
I could see you having like this thing, like maybe not now, but maybe at some time in your life where you're kind of like this. You could be like this Tyler Childers type with the acoustic guitar, and I'm really
get me jazzed up over here.
Yeah. Just playing their stuff. 'Cause I get jealous of that dude. Because I'm like, I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
I can see myself at an older age playing like that's the only. Playing that type of stuff. The only problem is I can't sing. So
yeah,
everything else. So props, man. That's awesome. Okay, I'm really excited. I'm gonna share this next band. 'Cause I found this
Yeah.
band yesterday
Ooh.
at work. I had a really slow day yesterday at work, so it was awesome. So I was doing work and listening to some music. Uh, there's a band called. Have you ever heard of Graveyard Club?
No.
Okay, so listen. So their description really hooked me. So the description they had was like, what they say. It says, altogether, the band, they begin with a shared love of 50s crooners, sci-fi novels, John Hughes films, and 80s pop music.
Ooh.
I go, oh yeah, there you guys.
Yeah, you just
I'm-
check.
yeah, I'll take it. So there's a song they have. Listen to this record called "Good Night Paradise." And it came out 2019. There's a song right here really played a lot. It's called William. Listen, so I'll play in the background. But it's
I already love it.
oh, do you already love it?
Oh yeah,
Ain't that great?
that's fabulous.
So I kind of, yeah, I'm an older dude, so it just kind of brings me back to
Like the use or the not use the cure. It's like giving me that kind of like that. Just like the, just more up, like broader, more upbeat than of course that
yeah.
typical kind of darker synthy. It's got the dark synthy sound, but it's more of like an upbeat poppier song.
Exactly. It kind of
That shit's fire.
so it's good because what happens is like this is what my examples like. I don't feel like some of this stuff wasn't teased out. It's kind of just kind of left in a vault in the 80s. It's like why can't you kind of bring some of that back and apply it to
when was that made?
2019?
Okay, yeah, that's
And-
brilliant.
And it doesn't paint them in a corner file as far as their genre goes because like their influence is kind of like just like they said, it kind of spreads out to like because there's one song that does sound like has like a 50s type drum beat to it. I go again, why can't you just kind of tease some of that stuff out? Like some of those dudes did with like rockabilly.
Mm-hmm.
They tease some because they just loved like the
Yeah.
50s sound or whatever, you know.
Like Buckshot Princess, like they've got
Yeah,
that
yeah.
like that old like
Right.
westerny sound, you know,
No,
but
yeah.
it's new, it's new age, it's good.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, dude. So yeah, check that out.
Yeah, I'm and the Graveyard
Yeah, Graveyard Club.
Club.
Which is such a like a 80s, which is such an 80s sound too. It's like, you know, because like I remember growing up, it's like, and it kind of gives me like, when you listen to it, I said some of that music kind of, because 80s had some great soundtracks, and some of the music in those soundtracks, they weren't really super popular. There's kind of like maybe just fans of the director. I think John Hughes is kind of like that. He just used music that he's just fans of. Like if you watch like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, he just like, but it totally worked for you. And I never knew who it was, but it kind of just worked for the vibe and
Yeah.
that was kind of going on. But yeah, beginning to tease some of that out.
Yeah.
Why not? I don't know.
That is awesome. I know, like, whenever Stranger Things broke out that Running Up the Hill by that one lady.
Yeah.
And that brought that song. I'm so glad they did because I'd never heard that song in my life. And to this day, I bought the Stranger Things vinyl record.
Did you really?
Just so I could have that song. Well, that one, and then there's a few other. There's a bunch of good songs that, you know.
Oh, sure. Yeah, they did a good job.
Stranger Things, like, came out swinging on the soundtrack. For real, there's so many good songs.
Bro, yeah. So that's up. That's you can have, yeah.
I'm definitely gonna dig into
I
that.
don't even know how I found those dudes, but I love it again. So that's one reason I like the internet. Anyway,
Yeah.
what you got?
All right. Let's see. Next up on my list, probably it's got to be the Casper fight scene, or the fight scene. Yeah, the Casper fight scene.
Okay, hold on. I'm looking up.
I just bought They just released a pressing of their 2022 album.
Man, dude, you like naming people I've never heard. Okay, go ahead.
They
I love it.
Yeah, they. I think they're not. They haven't been around for too long.
Yeah, they got a new one out.
Yeah, they just dropped a new. So good though. Like they just got this, like DIY. Like they probably do record all their own stuff, but they just have this very Midwesty.
I like them already. I see they have 10 songs. They clock in at 26 minutes. You got me. I'm loving it. If that said 10 songs, 45, I go, nope.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. Do you know any good songs off that?
The Cadillac
Death Trap.
Death Trap. Yeah, I kept wanting to say Deathbed, but I knew it was one.
Dude, that's catchy. Bro, that's so good.
Yeah, yeah.
Those vocals, what are they doing?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I love the sound.
No way. What's that sound? Is that a guitar?
Yeah.
That is so good.
Fire. Yeah, they're like,
How'd you find them?
I want to say shout out to Spotify for suggested artist. I'm pretty sure that's how I found them guys.
Yo.
Because I gotta say, like, a lot of times Spotify will spit out like suggested artists based off of what you listen to, and a lot of times it's not that good. You know, it's a little bit too far from what I listen to, but occasionally they'll drop hot items like that.
Dude. I'm so like Furnace Fest has happened this year again.
Oh yeah, I was so jelly you got to know that. I was like, oh.
Well, but I tell you what though. Those first handful of bands they were dropping, I go, I don't know any of these bands. It's not the fact I didn't know any of those bands. It's the fact that I went through and listened to them. Like, why?
Yeah.
Why are you getting these bands? Because I listened to this band. It has like 19,000 monthly listeners, and they're obviously like super super good. I'm like, why do you get these guys?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that I don't know. It's not because I didn't know about them. It's just like I just didn't sound great. So this is a band that definitely deserves to be on like a bigger type fest. That's huge. That's so good.
Yeah.
Man, that's so
yeah.
good.
I do believe they're starting to kind of come up too. Like I want to say like they just dropped some new material, and I want to say there's a festival called like Fochella. And yeah, it's up in Illinois or
That's
something,
fantastic.
or Michigan,
That's awesome.
and I'm pretty sure they're going to be playing there. Like there's a bunch of kind of like the underground, smaller emo and Midwest grungy bands.
That is
Top notch, right?
Really good.
Yeah.
I'm happy about that one.
Yeah,
That's really good.
Yeah, like I think it was like last week. I seen where they posted that they were selling pressings of that album, their vinyl. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I gotta get it, gotta have it. I was like, I've got just a small collection of vinyls, and it's because I really only buy vinyls of like music I listen to, and it's like smaller bands. So a lot of them don't have vinyls, and if they do, it's very small pressings. So it's like,
Dude.
yeah, I got Saturdays at Your Place. Another band. I'll mention. I got my next band lined up too.
Yeah.
So you go ahead.
Yo, that's awesome.
I
That's
just not
awesome.
thought about them.
Let's like. Oh, so let me get into my.
Yeah, get into your list.
Get into my list here. Man, that was really good.
Yeah.
That was a good surprise. Okay, so. Okay. Oh. Where's it at? That's something in particular. Well, I can do that. That's fine. There's like a. I'm trying to I got a mix between two. I'm looking at my list. So it's kind of weirdness right now. Okay. Hold on. Give me a sec.
Oh, you good?
I get a sec. So I'm trying to choose between. First, I'm trying to find the other one. Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this. I don't know. There's a band called Time Flies. They're just a really good. No, not Time Flies. I'm sorry. A band called Time X Heist. So it's a straight edge band I think they're from Colorado. And I just found them too. And I sent the guys in our chat, I sent them a song that really sounded good. It was like it kind of reminded me of some like retro, like Comeback Kid, which I really love. Like Comeback Kid's really one of my
I love Comeback Kid.
It was one of my favorites. And this might be, you do, you like them? You like them?
I love Comeback Kid.
Okay, so I think I'm trying to find the right song that I sent to them because it really sounded like a lot like old old Comeback Kid. Let me find the exact song I sent. Is this it? Yeah. There it is. It's called The Great Escape. Let me find it. Here we go. It's really good. Kind of remind me like old Comeback Kid. One part in particular.
Turnstile. Reminds me a lot of Turnstile.
Oh, this part here?
Yeah. Just that sound, that tap, tap, tap. And his vocal style.
Yeah, I think that was it. Just like that's that.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. It's a good recording too. Did that bass line? There it is. This part really reminds me of.
Yeah. Bring out the dead.
Exactly. It's like, I love that, man. Anyway, that's from Colorado, and just like that straight edge youth crew type hardcore. The song's only like maybe a minute 30. I love it.
Yeah, my band like that's No Pressure.
They're so good. They're so good.
Yeah, because Parker Cannon from The Story So Far. He always. I always liked his vocal style and just like him in particular. And then when he came out of nowhere doing No Pressure, I fell in love.
They're so good. They're so good, dude. Oh man.
Like that's one of those bands. Like I know they only got like 2 albums and like a couple singles or whatever.
And they're not signed. And I love it.
I can't tell you how many times I've listened to those albums. I mean, over and over on repeat. I tell the boys all the time. I like those short songs like that. When they're like under a minute and a half.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's like hook, line, and sinker, and you are left wanting more, so you'll just sit there and listen to it on repeat.
That's exactly right.
I can't tell you how many times I listened to No Pressure's second album from front to back. I would put it on and just let it run. So,
Well, it gets in there and it gets out. It's kind of like Newfound Glory did. We saw them at Furnace Fest, and it was like playing as fast as they did. And the song is like, they do like verse, like verse, they go through the whole song, it's done in like 2 minutes. I'm like, that's how you're supposed,
Yeah.
And it's all good. And it leaves you kind of wanting more. Mm-hmm. I was in the car with the kids. I think I mentioned it to my daughter first, and my son, I was listening to I don't know, for some reason I would put on a Duran Duran record from like 93. And I only have 2 songs in there. I like Come Undone, and I like the other one was Ordinary World, right? And there's a reason those are the only 2 songs they released, because everything else is just so long and drawn out. So like there's nothing else you can do. It's like verse, chorus, verse, chorus. It's just like for 6.5 minutes I go, guys, no.
And I've talked about this before. I think we don't realize it now, but like back then they wrote music like that because a lot of the times people wouldn't hear that song again for a long time. So it's like they would make it to where the chorus would repeat a bunch to get that chorus stuck in your head, because you might not hear that song again for months. And that was like a real reality,
Yeah, sure.
Not everybody had radios. If you did, you only got to listen to it for, whatever in the afternoons. Music wasn't around as much. We weren't as saturated in it, so they had to write music in a longer format so that you could actually enjoy it, and you had the time for it. Yeah. It's a different world, like we are a product of reality, but our music is a product of us, so it's like,
Yeah, that's true. I think I don't know, man. It's just like one of those. I mean, even like it just like, man, Tupac put out a record that's an hour and a half long. What?
yeah,
And I'm not gonna sit and listen to that for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I'm just not gonna do it.
yeah, not
It's
no
like-
more.
Not anymore. Just give me something that's kind of like I said, like that one record was like 10 songs in 26 minutes. I go,
Bam.
fine. I go,
Love it.
if you can do it, just go for it. If you and I'm like, all right. I'm a fan.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. You're welcome to go to the bathroom anytime.
Oh yeah.
You're welcome to dig into the fridge anytime, or rummage through our cabinets. Okay.
Nice.
Okay. But no, but seriously, if you need a break or anything,
Oh, okay.
because we can always edit and everything else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chop and cut it up.
Huh? No, there's no. Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be any editing with this one.
I'm eventually gonna be doing this myself, like
Are you for real?
podcasting. Yeah, I've got most of the equipment at my house ready to go. I just haven't
You should.
just sat down and started doing it.
We need more.
Yeah,
Any
we
more?
need more podcasts around this area.
I
Like
know.
nobody. I think what I'm gonna kind of do with mine is like more of like a. It's not gonna be really based around music or any specific thing. It's gonna be more of like a. I'm gonna try and get people that I don't know,
Yeah.
so that we can have conversations for the first time, really,
Yeah.
and see what happens. Because like I'm a charismatic person. I like to talk. And
Yeah.
if I can find the right people that are willing to sit down from this area
Yeah.
and have like long format conversations
Yeah.
with strangers,
Yeah.
that's kind of going to be the premise of it. It's like having conversations with strangers.
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, Stranger Things. There you go. I like it.
Don't talk to strangers.
Yeah. Don't talk
or talk to strangers.
to strangers. I like. See, it's a good idea, right? It's a good premise.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect. I like it. And people, that's catchy. I'm a fan, and it hasn't even started yet. Okay, this is good. You might like this band. Okay, there's a band called. This band doesn't put out any bad stuff, according to me. They don't. It's a band called Split System. They're a band from like an Australian indie rock or Australian garage rock band.
Ooh.
And so they haven't put out. And they're always putting out music, and it's never bad. So they put out a new one. Let me pop it up. I'll listen to it.
Yeah, I like whenever you're suggesting music on your, when you do this segment
Yeah.
and you always suggest bands I've never heard of. I love that.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. And you've like suggested some really good ones. So like, this one's called On the Edge. And it's got a nice bass line. And they're short songs too. Just kind of. His vocals are pretty good when they come in.
Yeah. Oh, it reminds me of kind of that Clash, like the UK.
Yeah. Has that this super raw.
Yeah.
That's like, I'd love to do something like that, but again, I can't sing. But like they have other stuff. Like they had an album that came out I think last year, and just some of the catchiest. Like this one's more raw than their previous stuff, which is kind of odd. But like just like really, but same kind of it seems really unpolished feel and kind of like not super produced, overproduced or whatever. It's just kind of got that this catchy bass and guitar riffs. You know, it's I don't know, dude. I like it. I like it.
Yeah. That I can't. I really like that sound, like the I don't know, just like that era of like the Clash and like punk rock out of the UK, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I like anybody that's got that Australian or English accent
Oh, yeah.
doing like punk vocals.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It just hits the right spot.
What's that? What's the accent, doll? Is it Cockney or whatever it's called from? It's like, I don't know. It's like the English accent. I probably get butchered.
Like the deep southern.
Yeah, it's like it's really like ever watched there's those Guy Ritchie movies like Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels.
Yeah.
The super thick Irish English accents with yeah, I love it.
Yep.
I love it. All right. Okay, this might be your last one.
This one's the last one, right?
I think it's number 5. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to decide what's the.
I'm trying to be a little eclectic. I'm not trying to be like
Yeah.
But you got some good ones, dude.
Yeah, I'm trying to think for the last one.
It's got to be good. No pressure. No pun intended.
Yeah, right. No doubt. Let's see. I actually.
And I put you on the spot too. You don't have a phone in front of you or anything.
No, I
you're
left
just
my phone in the car.
You're just pulling it out, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm cheating.
I think I'm gonna go ahead just because it's one of the things I listen to. One of the bands I listened to recently. They're a foreign band. I think they're like, I don't know. They're like Ukraine or Russian or Czechoslovakia. I don't know. They're from that part of the world. They're called Birdbone.
Birdbone.
Yeah, and none of their songs are in like English. It's like the names of their songs are in their language, like Russian or whatever it is. But I had a buddy, we were talking about just like foreign bands last week, and I was like, those guys are killer, and they're not like big or nothing, but they play kind of like that Midwestern-y emo.
Oh yeah, it's definitely Russian for sure, yeah, or something.
Yeah. They're good though, and they got vocals and everything. Like their instrumentals are really good.
Dude, that's awesome. Wow.
Cockney.
It's a Cockney.
Yeah, and it's estuary English, so it's like mixture
Estuary.
Estuary.
mixture of a really deep, fast southern.
Oh, that's
English
beautiful.
spoken.
That's beautiful. Okay, let's find out. I don't know the name, but so you have to be able to read Russian.
Yeah, I don't know the name of it.
So this is the song. Those things always just. What kind of guitar do they call that? Is that what they call like twinkling guitar?
Twinkly guitars, yeah. Noodly. That's like noodling.
I like that.
Yeah, they're really good.
Just kind of break into this. Mercy.
Can't understand what they're singing, but it's really good.
Mercy.
Yeah. I hope that one day I can see these guys live.
Mercy. Whoa.
Yeah. Like I said, I was very impressed when I come across them.
That is super good. Bro, that is so good. That is so good. Holy cow.
Yeah, I was impressed with like the audio recording, just everything. You know what I mean?
That's nuts, dude.
Yeah.
Somebody needed to get them over to a fest and pay for their plane tickets, let them play a fest.
Fly them bad boys over. I want to see them so bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good, man. I think I already said 5. Did I already say 5? I think I already said 5. I don't know. I think I did.
Did you?
Maybe didn't. I don't know.
Did you start it or did I start?
You started. So am I left with
You would
one?
be the last
I'm
one.
left with one?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. There's
It's always hard to pick the last one.
it's always hard to pick the last one. And I listened to so much this week. It's kind of hard to kind of like really. I was gonna try to stay away from the heavy type stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna suggest a heavy band, but I was like, I'm gonna be real. I don't listen to a whole lot of heavy stuff.
So I was gonna say, I will say like that. I will point out one though. Like I listened to this one yesterday or the day before. I mentioned it to some of the guys.
Shout out to Dawn of Ascension. So
Yeah.
far.
Did you go see him?
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, I was there last night, or that
Dakota?
wasn't last night. It
Where
was
are
the
they
night
from?
before.
Are they from here?
I don't know where they're from.
Dakota acted like. I'm trying to remember what Dakota's comment said. It might be from. I don't know if he said 870 or Arkansas, but
Ohio. I think one of the bands was from Ohio.
is it Dawn of Ascension? He said that they were just. I think they impressed him too.
No, they were really good. Like I was very impressed.
Dawn of Ascension. Ian.
I've got
See, I gotta learn how to spell Ascension first. Doll, how do you spell Ascension, Doll?
ACES.
There it is.
Yeah.
I put the C before the S. They are from Arkansas. South Arkansas.
Nice. Shout out. Guys killed it the other night.
Yo, they're not doing too shabby. And their Spotify doing pretty good, man.
Yeah, they deserve it. They're really good. They put on a good performance. You talk about a band that's tight, like well put together live. Nice, very nice.
Well, they sound like here. Or people didn't hear them. It's like they're. Sound pretty good.
Yeah, they were very, very good live. Like I said,
Izzy, you broke it.
it's falling apart, man.
Very metalcore.
Yeah,
metalcore. I love it. Okay, listen to this band.
For your last band.
Listen, I'm just gonna post. I'll give you the first parts to get all in the heavy side. There's a band called Gates to Hell. They're a positive band.
Yeah.
I think they're. Hold on, they're from Kentucky, and they got like. I think they have some connections with Weapon X, which I think there's a family tree in Kentucky where they're like there's. In some ways, they're kind of connected to. Maybe Knocked Loose, maybe not.
Nice.
Maybe not. I don't know. But people can correct me if they want. But this song here was so good. Where's it at? Next to Bleed. Yeah, this song here. I think this is it. Like the musicianship on this band is really good. So I don't listen to like. I'm pretty picky when it comes to this genre. Anyway, kind of. It's like really a lot. It's like a riff salad, dude. I don't know if I picked the right song or not, but it was super good. Like the musicianship is super good. Like I don't know. I'm kind of picky when it comes to some of that because there's just way too many bands that sound similar. Mm-hmm. They kind of sound like they're kind of separating themselves from like all those folks.
Yeah.
Kind of being a little creative. There was a band. That's the band I was going to mention. There was a band called I think I should have mentioned because they're not signed. There's a band called Drosera, Drosera. They're from like Florida, and for an unsigned band. They kind of do like that. I feel like really into like I don't know, like mid 2000s metalcore or whatever. Like they do a really good job, and like in a really authentic, genuine way. You have to look that one up on your own.
Nice.
But they're, I think the guy, our friends and Power Play played with them because they're down in Florida. They're down in Florida too. And I think Daryl Sykes is one that sent me that one, and that was a pleasant surprise. That's what I should have played.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Shout out to Daryl.
yeah. How did you go to the?
I couldn't make it to the emo night. I was really I had friends over at my house, so like I'm acting like I'm disappointed, but I actually did have a good time that night. Sorry, Daryl, I couldn't make it because I was partying at my house.
So he had an emo night, and that's good to see. That's back. And somebody mentioned, I think he's gonna do a new metal night.
Good.
I'm
Start
like,
tearing it up.
he's gonna play like a bunch of I don't know.
Dude, that's going to be sick. Oh, yeah. Just
you-
like a DJ set of like old new metal instead of a
Yeah.
DJ set of emo. Oh, yeah. That's going to be crazy awesome.
Yeah. So I don't.
Yeah.
So I think what he said is bring your Jinko jeans
That's it.
and chain wallets.
That's funny.
so that's gonna be fun. Billy, I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate
for
you,
doing
Barry.
This is good.
Yeah.
This is good. We can do it again. I'm sorry it
Definitely.
took so long.
Oh, no, it's okay. Life, man.
It is. This is kind of it's definitely a busy part of our year. We're also trying to kind of like,
There's no not busy time.
we're trying to be not as busy.
Yeah.
So like, so you just got to practice at it. Just got to work at it. And I think, because this is good. This is a lot of fun. And every time, 'cause it's probably been, what do you think, doll? It's probably been like maybe a month since the last time we did one. And
Yeah, it's work, like, ugh,
yeah, so
life is so busy.
yeah, it's pretty busy, but like this is good. This is good. This is kind of like a good chill out, kind of getting to stop and kind of smell the roses moments and kind of get the kind of chance to have face to face,
Yep.
conversations and everything else and stuff. So anyway, dude, I appreciate you. People go check out Grandma Chandelier. They're putting out a new single soon.
Yep. Very soon.
What's the single called?
Super glued. It's going to be awesome. We worked really hard to get this one done. And
Are you guys recording it yourself?
yeah, we recorded everything ourselves.
Is that stressful?
It is. It's one of those things where I don't know. You don't realize how much work goes into it until you start doing it and trying to get it right, and then it's like a whole job of trying to get it to sound the way we want it to sound right. So
You guys doing a whole mixing and mastering and
yeah, I'm sending it off to John he's living in New York, so he's been working. I don't even know what he does up there for a living, but he's been working on our music while working in New York. So
oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I'm excited. I mean, there is a lot that kind of goes into it. More, that's what I was telling the guys, is there's so much when you get in there and start doing things, when you finally get the final product, you don't know in the beginning like what the. You think I usually at the beginning I'm like, oh man, it's just not gonna sound good. It's gonna, it's just because you're not really hearing it on the other end of like someone who's kind of like doing all the button pushing and knob turning or whatever and stuff.
Much appreciation to everybody in the music industry that works hard to give us the music we have. Props to all those people.
Yeah, dude, I'm serious. Like I listened to I just mentioned that one band, that Drazera band, and they're just like an unsigned local band, and they're neck of the woods. But I don't know who did their recording and mastering, mixing, but there's people out there that are just like talented.
Yeah, it's
They
art.
deserve like a ton of credit. Yeah, it is. I'm like, I don't understand it. I don't know how.
Yeah.
But
So whenever you're listening to music and you're like, man, that artist is so good. Grandma Chandelier sounds so amazing. Props to John and all the
Yeah.
people that made sure to make us sound that good on the recordings.
that's exactly right.
Yeah, because that is an art. Yeah, we might have composed and arranged this music, but it's a lot of work on a lot of people's ends to make sure it sounds right for the consumers.
Absolutely right. Can you imagine your favorite music in the wrong hands?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like all these years, you don't. It's just like when you watch a movie and you see all those names in the credits, you don't really like understand. It's like I don't know what any of that means, but thank you to all those people who made sure I got this TV show.
That's exactly right. You unsung heroes will up.
That's it.
That's it. Okay. Well, I love you. But I got a thing I got to do.
Yep.
And but you can come back anytime.
Anytime.
Right.
Much love.
Much love, dude.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Hurt your feelings, you don't want to work with me anymore. Okay.